Hello, welcome to Painting with Jasmine Rempel Art. I am Jasmine, and today I'm going to be painting some Valentine theme bookmarks. I have a few examples here to show you. These have been laminated and I added a tassel to them. This one says, "You are in my heart." This one, sorry about that, I bumped the camera. This one says, "Peace, hope, and love." Here we have some nice turquoises. "Follow your heart." And last one is "Listen to your heart." So today I'm going to create two more, and I hope you do as well. My supplies are as follows. I have some Windsor Newton watercolor paint this is a ceramic palette. I have French Ultramarine and Alizarin Crimson. I have Cadmium Yellow Medium, Cadmium Red Medium. And I've chosen these colors for my color schemes. I'm going to use the Ultramarine with the Alizarin Crimson and create a purple. I'm going to use the Cad Red with the Cad Yellow and create an orange on each bookmark. I've also drawn some marks using Staedtler watercolor markers, and I have a whole set of these picked out. On the ends of them, if I open up a tip, there are brush-shaped tips, and I have these available for some details. I have three brushes here. One is, they're all round brushes. I've got a number 6 round, a number 4, and a number 2. These are all from the black velvet, silver black velvet, and I just purchased these for a Christmas present, and they're absolutely wonderful. Any round brushes will do for you. I have Arches watercolor paper, cold pressed, 140 pound. I've cut these into approximately 2 inch by 7 inches. On this side, I have drawn 3 hearts ready to go, and I've taped blue masking tape, painter's tape, across each heart in order to save the white for the words. Around each bookmark is white painter's tape, which I find works really well. It doesn't rip the paper when I lift it off. I've simply purchased this from Amazon. Am I missing anything? I'm going to be using some Kosher Salt, and I have some iridescent watercolor medium here as well. I have water ready. I have 2 containers of water ready, and some paper towel. My watercolor paints are off to the side in case I run out. So I think that's all I need to share for the supplies. I'm going to sketch in 3 hearts and then tape them off on this side. So I'll start with my bottom heart. I'm going off the side. There's one. This one's a little smaller, and that's okay. 2. And I'll try to turn towards the right for my 3rd one. And 3 hearts. Okay, I feel like this one I want to be facing left a little more, so I'm going to redo this heart. There we go. Okay, now that my hearts are on here, I'm going to use my eraser and lift off a little bit of the graphite. All I want to see is a faint outline of the hearts so that the graphite doesn't show through the painting as much. And I'll do the same over here. I forgot to do that here. You probably won't see the outlines of the hearts now, but they are there. Right, I'm ready to paint. Oh, nope, I need to put the tape. Okay, so I ordered some thin masking tape, painter's tape. I'm just going to rip off a strip and put it down the center of this heart on a slant. That's where my words will go later. Peel off some more. I'm not sure the width of this tape. I will measure this for you. I ordered a set of painter's tape at a variety of widths. I have some even thinner than this. So let's get my ruler here and measure this. Now I'm Canadian, so this is basically 1/2 centimeter. It's 1/4 inch. All right, I'm going to wet this bottom heart and do the wet and wet effect. I'm simply dipping my brush into my water and I'm saturating within this heart. If you're new to watercolors, wet on wet is a technique that is just really fun, really beautiful to use in watercolor. And you start with a wet surface and you add wet pigment to the wet surface, and some really lovely effects happen. So my heart is nice and wet now, well saturated, and I'm going to go into my Alizarin Crimson. This is Windsor Newton professional level paint. You can really use any type of paint, watercolor paint. And I'm just going to tap it in and let it bleed out. I'm going right over top my tape. Nice. You can see that it's traveling along the paper, traveling along wherever the water is on the paper. I'm encouraging it along with my brush. And now I'm going to go into my French Ultramarine. It has quite a bit of water in it. And tap it into this side. Add a little more of this Alizarin Crimson and let the two meet and bleed and blend together, encouraging some of that blending by moving my brush around within it. There we go. There, I see that lovely purple now. Got some blue, some purple, and some red. Okay. Now I'm going into my salt. I'm just going to add a little bit to the left-hand corner. It ended up on the bottom as well, and that's just fine. And I'm just going to let my salt do some work there. And now I'm going to wet this left-hand heart while this one dries a little. Okay, that's nicely saturated. Using the tip of my brush to get this little fine point. And now I'm going to go into my Cadmium Red. Add a little more water to it. And same thing, I'm tapping it in. I think I'll take this one all the way across. There we go. Now I'm going to go into my cadmium yellow, add a little water to that, and I think I'll just add some yellow on the side here. And blend it a bit with my brush, which I just cleaned off and dried a little bit. Nice. I've cleaned my brush and dried it, and I'm going into my palette, and I've got some more cadmium red, but it doesn't have much water in it, and I'm just going to introduce some darks up here and down here. Let those bleed out a bit. And encourage them down. Just to add some interest to the heart. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to add a little bit of salt, just because I love it. I think on this side, a little sparkle once the salt does its work. I'm heading into my middle heart again, saturating it with water. It's a bit pink, but that's all right. I still have my number 6 brush. It's working well for me. Eventually I will do some smaller hearts, and when I do that I will use my smaller brush. Okay, now I'm going straight into the Ultramarine, French Ultramarine this time, and I will tap in the opposite side. Maybe a bit down here. And then I will clean my brush and go into the Alizarin Crimson and add that. Let them let the water carry them a little bit. And let them bleed out together. Nice. Okay. Now I'm going to get my top heart wet. Now if you're doing this, the whole idea is to simply wet the heart and then apply color any way you want to apply it. You don't have to choose the colors I'm choosing. You don't have to put the color in the way I'm putting it in. Put any color you want in any placement. I'm here just to inspire, and we learn from each other, don't we? So if you end up doing this and using different colors, I'd love to see some pictures. You can, I'm not sure that you can add them to YouTube, but people have been finding me on Instagram and on my Facebook and sending me some pictures, and that's really been very lovely. I'm going to take some Alizarin Crimson, and then I'm actually going into my palette beside where I'm working, and I'm going into the French Ultramarine, and I'm going to mix up a purple here and just add straight purple to this heart. Pretty. I feel like I want some variation, so I'm just putting in a bit of that Alizarin Crimson. It's quite wet. I'm running out of it too. I need to go into my palette and get some more. There we go. Whoa. That is, there's an actual term when you have lots of pigment and very little water. Whatever the term is, that is that. Okay, I added some water. It was a little strong for my liking. Pretty. Okay, I'm going to apply some salt right on this side here, actually all through it, and some salt. Okay, now this needs to dry, and while it's drying, I'm going to put the video on time lapse and work on this side. All right, these are dry, so I'm going to peel off the tape. And I am going to get rid of the salt. Salt left some nice sparkle effects and textured effects I like, add some interest. And I'm using a rubber cement square to just remove the salt. If you've forgotten the supplies that I've named, I'll have those in the description of this YouTube video. There we go. I'm just going to run my hands along to feel. I don't want any salt crystals left, because when I laminate, there'll be a bump. go. Good. It's ready for the next step. All right, so for the next step, what I'm going to do is reach for my number 4 round, and I'm going to add a couple more little hearts. So this was my Alizarin Crimson one. So I think I'll go into this purple mixture. It's quite more of a red purple right now, so I think I'll actually add a little more ultramarine to it, deepen up the tone. That's better. And some more water. Okay, I'm going to just add a little heart right over here. Let it. This time I put my heart on wet on dry, and I'm just drawing with my paintbrush. I didn't sketch one out first. I've cleaned my brush. It just has water now, and I'm just going to fill in water on this side. And that way I'll have kind of a gradated color look. There we go. Now I'm cleaning off my brush and I'm going into the ultramarine, adding some water in there, and I'm going to draw a heart here. I'm letting it touch and overlap a little bit into the top heart. These brushes have a really fine tip, so I'm able to draw quite well with that. Cleaning off my brush, now there's just water, and I'm going to do the same, drying my brush a bit, same as I did on the first one. Just have a little bit more of a gradated color, which means dark to light. There we go, that's pretty. Pull in a little more of those darks toward the center. Good. Okay, now the last color will be the blue, French Ultramarine blue, and I'll draw one up here. It's fun to play with hearts, fun to paint them, and it's fun to make bookmarks because it's not a huge project and it's sort of relaxing to do. I tend to do mostly bookmarks and greeting cards with watercolor because I teach and full-time, and so I need little projects that don't take a lot of time or mental effort. So when I'm teaching, a lot of my energy goes into the classroom. When I have more time, I like to paint with acrylics, and then I'll do larger canvases. You can find me on Instagram at Jasmine Rempel Art, or on Facebook, just under Jasmine Rempel. I also have a website for my acrylic paintings at Jasmine Rempel Art as well. And you can have a peek there and see some of the things I do. Okay, these hearts are sweet and they add to this. Now I'm going to write. So to write, I've got purple here, and I have to think of something to write. Let's see, what I did last time was I looked up a few heart messages. So I think I will do something that I've already done before, like "You are in my heart" or "Follow your heart." Maybe I'll do "Heart to Heart." I think I'll do that. Heart. To. Heart. This is where it'd be really nice to have some calligraphy skills. I don't, so it's handwriting. Handwriting in itself is kind of special these days. Not a lot of people teach handwriting anymore. So if I brought this to my grade 2 students, or even some of the grade 3 or 4 or 5 students in my school, they would need me to read it to them. This is black ink, the black ink pen, Staedtler. I started with purple, and I'm doing another black on top, help it to stand out. Heart to heart, how pretty is that? All right, so another thing that I like to do is add, instead of splatter painting, I would just do some dots. So this is the purple marker. Just a few. And then I will choose another color, maybe the blue. It's a very similar value to the purple. And let's go for some pink. There we go. It's got a lighter value. Adds a little movement. Heart. And lastly, what I'm going to add is this iridescent medium. Taking my number 4 brush again, going right into the iridescent medium, and I think I'll apply it on these little hearts. You may not see the sheen. Let me turn this on, that might help. It's very pretty. Once I lift off the tape, I will turn the bookmark towards the light so that you can see the lovely sparkle this makes. if you don't have this iridescent medium, well, you could use metallic paints, or you don't have to have the sparkle. It's a pretty little bookmark even without that. I like it. I think if I would change anything, it might be the polka dots I put on. I don't know if I'm loving those. I actually want to outline these hearts. I'm going to do that now. I think not the whole heart, just a portion of it. Let's use the blue. Might give a little bit of an impression of a three-dimensional form. Bit of a shadow to the side here. Yeah, I like that. And then I think I will go for the red here, which is probably quite strong, but that's okay. That looks good. Pretty. There. Nice. All right. Time to peel off the paint. I mean, peel off the tape. This is not paint. And I have this wonderful, well, let me show you that sheen. Isn't that pretty? And I have this little edge cutter. I'm going to cut the corners. And there's a beautiful bookmark. Be great for someone for Valentine's Day, or just a friendship bookmark. I like to have heart-to-heart chats with you. I'm going to finish this one up now on time lapse. Okay, and here they are. Two happy little Valentine theme bookmarks. Follow your heart and heart to heart. What I would do now is I would I create sets of 4 and then I laminate them. And I hole punch the top, add a tassel, and then they're ready for gifts for others. I hope you enjoyed the paint along today, and if you create one or more bookmarks that you're inspired to do after watching this, please share with me. I would love to be inspired by you. You can shoot me a message on my Facebook, Jasmine Rempel. If you look me up, you'll find me there, or on Instagram. Happy painting. All the best. Bye for now.